You just received an urgent email from your bank telling you to verify your account immediately, or it will be suspended. The email looks official, complete with your bank's logo and professional formatting. You click the link, enter the familiar-looking website, and type in your username and password to resolve the issue quickly. Congratulations! You just handed over your banking credentials to a cybercriminal sitting halfway across the world. That website wasn't your bank's site. It was a pixel-perfect replica designed to steal your login information. The email wasn't from your bank. It was from someone who spent just 20 minutes creating a convincing fake that fooled you completely. Welcome back to TechSky. Today, we're exposing the most successful cybercrime technique of the digital age: phishing attacks. These deceptive schemes have stolen billions of dollars and compromised millions of accounts by exploiting our trust in familiar websites and brands. I'll show you exactly how these digital traps are created and how you can spot them before you become the next victim. Before we begin, I need to make something absolutely clear. Everything demonstrated in this video is strictly for educational purposes only. The knowledge you're about to gain comes with significant responsibility. Understanding phishing techniques is crucial for recognizing and defending against these attacks, but using these methods to target actual people is not only unethical, but illegal in most jurisdictions worldwide. All our demonstrations today will be performed in a controlled laboratory environment using our own testing platforms. We will not be targeting any real users or attempting to steal actual credentials. Phishing attacks cause real harm to individuals and businesses. Victims can lose their life savings, have their identities stolen, or face years of financial recovery. Today's video is designed to educate you about these threats, so you can protect yourself and others from becoming victims. Phishing is a social engineering attack where attackers create fake websites that look identical to legitimate ones, with the goal of stealing your personal information, login credentials, and sensitive data when you enter them. Traditional phishing attacks used to be easy to spot. You'd receive emails with obvious spelling mistakes, suspicious links, and websites that looked clearly fake. These attacks often had broken images, poor formatting, and amateur design that immediately signaled danger. These attacks failed because they raised immediate red flags that triggered our natural skepticism. But modern phishing has evolved into something far more sophisticated. Today's attackers use advanced techniques to create pixel-perfect replicas that are virtually indistinguishable from legitimate websites. They register domains that look almost identical to real ones, use professional designs, and even implement working features to make their fake sites appear completely authentic. The level of detail in these replicas is so precise that even the most careful observers can be fooled at first glance. What makes modern phishing particularly effective is the psychological manipulation involved. These attacks exploit our trust in familiar interfaces and our tendency to act quickly when we perceive urgency. Attackers create scenarios designed to trigger emotional responses: fear of account suspension, urgency about security breaches, or authority from trusted institutions. They understand that when we're anxious or rushed, we're more likely to bypass our usual security habits and act impulsively. The sophistication extends beyond just visual deception. Modern attackers conduct research on their targets, reference current events, and create personalized messages that feel genuine and relevant. This combination of technical excellence and psychological manipulation creates attacks that can deceive even security-aware individuals. Today, I'll demonstrate exactly how these sophisticated phishing attacks work in a controlled lab environment. You'll witness firsthand the startling level of authenticity these fake sites achieve and understand why traditional warning signs are no longer sufficient. But more importantly, you'll learn the critical warning signs to watch for and the essential protective measures that can keep you safe from these increasingly dangerous attacks. Let's start by preparing our Kali Linux environment. Open your terminal and run sudo apt update to refresh our package lists and check for the latest software information. After that completes, Run sudo apt upgrade to install any available system updates. When prompted, type Y to continue. This ensures our system has the latest security patches and software versions. Now we need to install SocialFish, a powerful phishing framework designed for security testing. Open your web browser and search for SocialFish GitHub to find the repository. Click on the first link to open the original repository. However, we'll be using an improved version that I've enhanced specifically for educational demonstrations. In the address bar, change the username from the original repository to TechSky-EH. You can scroll down to read about the improvements I've made to this tool, including bug fixes and enhanced features for educational purposes. To clone this repository, click the code button and copy the repository link, or you can copy it directly from the address bar. Return to your terminal and type git clone, followed by pasting the copied link. Press enter to begin cloning the repository. Once cloning completes, navigate to the repository directory by typing cd SocialFish. Now we need to prepare our environment to run the tool safely. We'll create a Python virtual environment to isolate our dependencies. Type Python 3-m venv to create a virtual environment named venv. Next, activate the virtual environment by typing source venv/bin/activate. You'll notice your terminal prompt changes, indicating the virtual environment is active. Now install the required dependencies by typing pip3 install-r requirements.txt. This will install all the necessary packages for SocialFish to function properly in our isolated environment. Once installation completes, we can launch SocialFish. Type Python 3, socialfish.py, root, tour. These are the username and password for the SocialFish web panel. You can choose any credentials you prefer, but remember what you set as you'll need them to access the interface. And press enter. You'll see SocialFish starting up and displaying a local URL where the web panel is accessible. Click on the link displayed in the terminal to open the SocialFish web panel in your browser. The browser will open and prompt you for login credentials. Enter the same username and password you set when launching the tool, in our case, root and tour. Click Login to access the main SocialFish interface. This is the main control panel where we can configure our phishing attacks. You'll see several key fields here. The clone field is where we enter the URL of the website we want to replicate. This is the target site that we'll create a fake version of. The redirection field specifies where victims will be sent after entering their credentials. This is a crucial social engineering tactic. By redirecting to the legitimate site, victims often assume there was just a temporary technical issue. You'll also notice additional features like custom HTML for advanced customization and inject beef XSS for browser exploitation framework integration. I've created a dedicated video about beef that you can access through the info card if you want to understand this feature separately. The panel also includes options to send phishing emails directly from the tool, and you can also generate reports and view attack statistics, including clicks, captured credentials, and victim information. For our demonstration, we'll target a testing website specifically created for educational purposes. Open a new browser tab and navigate to techsky-eh.github.io/techsky-phishing-demo. This is a legitimate testing login page designed specifically for hacking demonstrations and security education. It's safe to use for learning purposes without any legal concerns. Copy this URL and return to your SocialFish tab. Paste the URL in both the clone field and the redirection field. Setting both to the same URL means that after victims enter their credentials on our fake site, they'll be redirected to the original page. This social engineering technique makes victims think there was just a network or technical problem with their first login attempt. Now click the Thunderbolt icon to begin the cloning process. Click OK when prompted. SocialFish will now create its local phishing URL. Click on this local link to open our cloned site in a new tab. You'll see the page loading initially as SocialFish clones the target site for the first time. You can check the SocialFish terminal to see the real-time process and steps happening during the cloning operation. Once cloning completes, examine the replicated site carefully. Notice that it's an exact replica of the original. There are no visual differences between the legitimate site and our cloned version. The layout, colors, fonts, and functionality are identical. Let's test our trap. Enter TechSky as the username and like video as the password, then click Login. Notice that you're immediately redirected to the original site without any indication that something malicious occurred. This seamless redirection is key to maintaining the deception. Now return to your SocialFish panel and refresh the page. You'll see that it has successfully captured the credentials we entered. Click the View button to see the captured username and password displayed clearly. Currently, our phishing site is only accessible on our local network. To make it available over the internet, as real attackers would, we'll use localhost.run to create a public tunnel. Open a new terminal window. If this is your first time using SSH keys, run ssh keygen-trsa-b 4096-c and hear your example email, and press Enter. This command generates an SSH key pair that will be used for secure communication with the tunneling service. The -trsa specifies the key type, -b 4096 sets the key length for security, and -c adds a comment for identification. Press Enter through any prompts to accept default settings. Now run ssh-r80:localhost:5000 ssh.localhost.run and press Enter. This command creates a reverse SSH tunnel that forwards traffic from a public URL to our local SocialFish server, running on port 5000. The first time you connect, type Yes to accept the connection. After a few moments, you'll see a QR code displayed. Interestingly, hackers sometimes use QR code phishing, called quishing, where they print malicious QR codes and place them in target areas with social engineering tricks. We'll explore QR phishing in depth in a future video. More importantly, you'll see a public URL provided by localhost.run. Copy this URL and paste it into a new browser tab. You can see that our phishing site is now accessible from anywhere on the internet through this public link. Let's test the internet accessible version. Enter TechSky as the username and subscribe as the password, then click Login. Notice that it redirects to the original site just like before. Return to your SocialFish panel, refresh the page, and click View to see that it captured these new credentials as well. Now our phishing site is accessible over the internet, but the URL still looks suspicious. Real attackers use URL masking techniques to make their malicious links appear legitimate. For this, we'll use a tool called facading, and search for facading GitHub in your browser. You'll see the official GitHub repository. Open it and scroll down to read about this URL masking tool. Copy the repository link either from the code button or the address bar. Return to your terminal and type git clone, followed by pasting the link. Press Enter to clone the repository. Navigate to the directory by typing cd facading. The setup process is identical to what we did with SocialFish. Run Python 3-m venv to create a virtual environment. Activate it with source venv/bin/activate. Install dependencies with pip3. Install -r requirements.txt. Once installation completes, launch the tool by typing python 3 facading.py. Facading will prompt you for your phishing link. Return to your localhost.run terminal, copy the public phishing URL, and paste it here. Next, it asks which legitimate website this should appear to be. For demonstration, you can enter any example domain name. Now it asks for keywords that will be used in the URL masking. Attackers typically use emotionally manipulative keywords that trigger greed, fear, or urgency. For our example, we'll use login. Press Enter and wait for facading to process your request. After processing, you'll see 3 masked URLs generated. Notice how these links look exactly like legitimate website URLs. Hackers share these types of convincing links through messages, emails, and social media to trick users into entering their credentials. They often combine this with email spoofing techniques, which I've explained comprehensively in my previous video accessible through the info card above. Let's test our masked URL. Copy one of the generated links and open it in a new browser tab. You can see that the URL masking worked perfectly. The address bar shows what appears to be a legitimate URL, but it actually displays our cloned phishing page. Enter test credentials like TechSky and share video, then press enter. Return to your SocialFish panel, refresh the page, and click the View button. You'll see that it successfully captured these credentials as well. If you need to modify the cloned site to make it more convincing or add additional functionality, you can edit the code directly. This level of customization allows security professionals to create highly targeted phishing simulations for employee training and security awareness programs. Protecting yourself from phishing attacks requires both technical measures and behavioral changes. Verification is your strongest defense. Always verify unexpected communications through independent channels. If you receive an urgent email from your bank, call them directly using the number on your card or statement, not any number provided in the email. Examine URLs carefully before entering sensitive information. Look for subtle misspellings, extra characters, or unusual domain names. Legitimate companies typically use their main domain for important communications. Enable two-factor authentication on all important accounts. Even if criminals steal your password through phishing, they still need the second factor to access your account. Keep your software updated. Modern browsers include phishing protection that can warn you about known malicious sites, but these protections only work if your software is current. Be skeptical of urgent requests. Legitimate organizations rarely require immediate action via email. When in doubt, contact the organization directly to verify the request. Use bookmarks for important websites. Instead of clicking links in emails, navigate to important sites using bookmarks you've saved or by typing the URL directly. Monitor your accounts regularly. Check your bank and credit card statements frequently so you can quickly identify unauthorized transactions. Trust your instincts. If something feels wrong about an email or website, it probably is. It's better to be overly cautious than to become a victim. Educate others. Share your knowledge with family and friends, especially those who might be more vulnerable to these attacks. Report suspicious communications. Forward phishing emails to the organizations being impersonated and to anti-phishing services to help protect others. Use a password manager. It creates strong, unique passwords and only autofills on the correct domain, helping you spot fakes. Enable passkeys or a physical security key where available. These phishing-resistant logins block most account takeovers. Treat QR codes like links. Verify the source before scanning and avoid logging in through a QR page you didn't request. Check the sender's real email and the reply to field. Attackers often spoof display names while using lookalike addresses. Be cautious with unexpected attachments. Never enable macros or run files from unknown senders. Keep your recovery options current. Store backup codes securely so you can quickly regain access if something goes wrong. If you click by mistake, act fast. Disconnect, change passwords from a clean device, refresh two-factor codes, and alert the service to secure your account. If you found this insight into the world of phishing attacks valuable, hit that like button right now. Understanding these threats is the first step in protecting yourself and your loved ones. Subscribe and turn on notifications to stay updated with the latest cybersecurity insights and protection strategies that affect everyday internet users. Consider becoming a channel member for exclusive access to advanced security content and early warnings about emerging threats. Share this video with friends and family who might benefit from understanding these deceptive techniques. The more people who can recognize phishing attacks, the less successful they become. Drop a comment sharing any suspicious emails or messages you've encountered. Your experiences help educate others about the real threats circulating online. Remember, in the battle against cybercrime, knowledge and skepticism are your best defenses. Until next time, stay vigilant, stay skeptical, and keep learning. This is TechSky, signing off.